The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff.
It's Wednesday, the 22nd day of November, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. And Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sherry and Sanja and Raj and Teo and, well, all of them are unavailable to be here today. So it is just me again. And like yesterday, I will be on my best behavior because we have a very important conversation to have. And I don't want anything getting lost in translation. So I will do my best to go slow and enunciate and remain calm, as I often do. But I hope everyone is doing well on this Wednesday, and greetings to you all. And thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Nicole Grant on from Styling Granted. She's going to be speaking about how she's empowering others as a motivational personal stylist. So you don't want to miss that. If you haven't already, please fill out our survey. We have a survey that goes out every year the same time. So if you haven't done so already, please fill it out for us. This information helps us help you and really make decisions that are in the best interest of the community and the show. The daily play today is more holiday trivia, so someone will get a prize, as I have no one to answer live on with me. So look out for that. And do not forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Good morning to you, Traveling Trotty and Suzanne Ingham. Happy Wednesday, Premier. Have an awesome day, she says. Good morning to you. And Karen Simmons says, good morning, TDH. Happy hump day. So I sit here today as a Black male. I'm a Black man, born in Bermuda, to Black Bermudian parents. And I once said that the hardest job I'll ever have is being that which I am, a Black man. And this is not to say that others don't have struggles. But as I said some years ago on this show, when you think about the incarceration rate in Bermuda, 90% of those, 90-something percent of those incarcerated are Black men. I don't need any statistics to show me or tell me that the majority of homes without fathers are absent Black men. When you look at the road traffic accidents in Bermuda, again, without statistics in front of me, Black men mostly impacted. And when you look at who's being murdered and who's doing the murdering, again, Black men. There's much more that we can discuss on this. And let me just side note, this morning, we were actually going to discuss Sir John Swan's comments about CARICOM and the response from the Honorable Minister Walter Rabban. Unfortunately, things happen overnight that require us to divert our attention to something that seems to be an issue for the day and then go away. You get WhatsApp messages saying there's a shooting or shots fired. And then you hear that the person has succumbed to their injuries. You know, in the United States, where I am currently residing, there's this thing that happens, and it's almost cultural at this point. It's this thing where they love guns as a society, and they fight for their guns, and they always mention the amendment. And then when there's a mass shooting that takes place, it's almost like a script where one side always says these two things. They push the narrative that the person who did the shooting had mental issues. And the second thing they do is thoughts and prayers. As I was watching Trevor Lindsay's live on TNN last evening, I couldn't help but to notice a trend that seems to be the norm in Bermuda when this happens. I'm sick of this. When will enough be enough? Condolences to the family. I think there were messages that said the same thing for about 4, 5 straight messages. Condolences to the family. Sounds a lot like the thoughts and prayers. Until the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Bermuda is suffering from a sickness. It's a sickness where something happens, we react, and then we go back to life as normal until we have another flare up. We know the symptoms, but somehow we just don't deal with them. There are tons of things that lead a community to a space like this. You can go to the African American Museum in DC and see how there were no gangs. Let's say 1972, by 1977, there were 200 something gangs in Los Angeles. We can sit here and say this is all by design. But I often say, you know, sometimes it's not just about what happens, but how we respond to what happens. I'm as an emotional being as anyone else. Sometimes we all lose control of our emotions. But we have a sickness. 2 days ago, I was mentioning the wall caving in near Whitney Institute. And how, if that happened during a school day when students were walking, what the conversation would be that we're having. Again, it happened many years ago at Bermuda College where someone lost their lives. And I said, the crazy thing about this is 2 days from now, they'll all be forgotten. I'm actually guilty of when a murder, like the police put out a reminder looking for witnesses for a murder, that I can't even remember that murder. That's the space we're now in a sick community. We are reeling. You know, just 2 days ago, I mentioned, you know, therapy. We speak about therapy and seeing someone. Are politicians seeking therapy? The leaders, the people making decisions, police officers. It's a very bad place for us to be in. But this show exists as a place to discuss solutions to what's going on in our community. And the question of the morning is very simple. What more can we do to improve Bermuda? What more can we do? Because let's be honest, laws do exist. Laws do exist. So it's not like we can look at the legislators and the politicians, and laws do exist. We're a sick community. Just yesterday on Twitter, I shared the letter to the editor from the father of Marisa Moniz. And I sat at my desk crying as I read that, because it took you through a roller coaster of emotions. This father feeling as if he let his daughter down. And the anger inside of him as the man responsible went to appeal his sentence. And we must ask ourselves, did the system fail his daughter because of that individual's prior incidents that were public? We have to ask ourselves, is it the system or is it us? We have a role to play in the way our country looks and the way we live our lives. What we cannot do is act as if, and I'm specifically speaking to Black people right now, because remember, Rajay said it. We've got this Black elite in Bermuda now, people who are, living high and mighty, better than they grew up, some CEOs, some politicians making money they thought they'd never see. They're not that kind of Black anymore, right? Give you an example. In the United States, the FBA and ADOS folks who they're the descendants of enslaved Black people, they don't consider anybody else Black. Well, the argument to them is, if you believe that police brutality exists and a police officer sees me, they're not going to wonder whether or not I'm American born or not. They just see a Black person. I tell you, to every Black elite or wannabe elite, shootings will only be contained for so long. Violence is only contained for so long. If we don't get a grip on this, "14 years after Kamwande Robinson, add another 6 to that, 20, almost 21 after Shonda Jones. We have a sickness in our society. Our community is reeling, and I'm not quite sure we care enough to do anything about it. But this is on us. Let's have a conversation. What more can we do to improve Bermuda? What aren't we doing? What needs to take place? Do we need to get out of the bars? And I saw something come through one of my group chats last night. And it was the same thing I saw as I scrolled Facebook last week. But it's telling me that people are waking up, because I've been saying this for the last 15 years. Watch where I go with it. When you take the best Black coaches, Black educators, Black mentors, and put them in institutions, their clubs, right? Their schools, what are you leaving for us in our community? That's part of the breakdown. Let's not ignore this. We need to do more to embrace and keep those who were born into our communities as a part of our communities. There's no reason that someone who grew up at Boulevard or North Village should be over at BAA. I'm going to call some people out today. That impacts things. This brother put up a picture of Warwick Sack back in the 80s or 70s the other day, how they won everything. And now you see Soltis and Warwick Academy. I'm not dissing those schools at all. But this is part of community breakdown. It's part of it. Another picture yesterday in a group. You see another school winning the high school competition, I guess, and said, this is how you know things have changed. Look at the picture. Our community is shattered and it's broken, and we don't care enough to understand why. Because we're all living our own lives, and that's fair. We're struggling. It's tough out here. You know, I always recall this. You know, I recall this. When the murder of Kimwande Robinson happened in 2009 up St. Monica's Road, and the following week, at the radio station, I believe it was Mike Jackman, the former, he was some officer in the police service, was at Hot 107.5 with Teo one morning, Friday morning. They were speaking about the violence. Later on that day, I'm at home and I heard sirens. So I go outside to see what happened. And I'm at Carl Azul's house, who's my neighbor and former co-host of this show. I see all these police going up the hill. So I walk up, see what's going on. And as I get there, many of the officers I knew, and obviously the guys in the neighborhood, and it's this power struggle. And I remember one guy who's now murdered, but Hartman, this. And I remember some of my own family and friends saying to me, stay out of that, don't get involved. 14 years later, those words ring so heavy. Because too many of us were too busy staying out of that and minding our business. It's not easy watching Black men be slaughtered. It's hard. It's really, really hard. And I tell you what, I will fight for our existence as long as I have breath. But we need our community to care enough to want to change the direction of where we are today. We need to care about what happened last night until it's resolved, until there's no more TNN lives on the scene of a shooting, until we can eliminate the words of condolences to the family and friends. It hurts, man. It really does. Let's go to the audience. Mark Arthur C. Phillips says, I just don't know what to say. It's time for self-reflection. You're right, Jamel. It's only a matter of time before it comes to my doorstep. Teresa Ann Marie says, it's indeed our problem to solve, but it's also a far wider linked issue. I read the Caribbean region has one of the highest rates of violent crime in the world. What can we learn from the broader picture? It's a lot we can learn. A lot. We need to figure out why the Caribbean region has these high rates of violence. I actually read the Jamaica Gleaner and the Observer often to keep up with what's going on in the region. It's a lot of violence, murders. And I try to understand why. The reason I want to know why is because I believe there are solutions to every problem that exists in this world. And that's why this show exists. I want to know what more we can do. What can we do? What, something that Mr. Monis said in that letter to the editor, he said something to the effect, not going to quote directly, I always wondered how someone can hate another person enough to want to kill them. I'm going to be direct without making a threat today. When we were fighting conscription, the hate I had for people in that organization was so deep. But I never wanted them to die. I wanted them here so when we were victorious, I can smile and be happy. I said it, when Perry Parker was murdered, it was around New Year's time, if I'm not mistaken. I remember saying then, he's feeling no pain, he's gone. Family, friends, community, like that's who feels it. We need to solve this community problem. And it's not going to happen if we refuse to understand that it's all of our problems. It's our problem. We cannot be selfish with this. We cannot be selfish with this. I don't have all the answers. I probably don't have an answer at this point because the things that I suggested, everybody pushed back and said, no, stay out of that, mind your business. We're in a heavy space, man. Karen Simmons says, this is heavy and I don't know what to say and what I can do personally other than reach more young Black males. I just want to say this, right? I say to Maya and Sancha and Sherry and Larry, and I say to all of you often, I don't like the idea of charity. But as someone who is mentored in Big Brothers in the United States and YouthNet in Bermuda when it existed, and I've coached at my local community club in Bermuda, and I've coached youth soccer in New Jersey as well. I love to do something that makes me feel like I'm having a positive impact on the lives of others, and they don't just have to be children. I also understand that that's not everyone's interest. But to Karen Simmons' point, reaching one person. I know people who are playing major roles in children's lives, helping parents out, helping raise them. If you are able to do something like that, you see a child struggling, it goes a long way. I had parents, I had uncles, I had godparents, not the 15 godparents you don't know. Well, I don't know about 3 of them, but that's not the point. My point is community, folks. We need all hands on deck. Because as I bring Maya in for the Daily Hour news break, I'll say this. I am sick. I'm tired. I'm drained. It hurts. It hurts as a Black male to see what we are doing to ourselves, our community, and our families. I'm going to take a quick break before we bring Maya Palacio in for the Daily Hour News Break. Gather your thoughts. We do have a very special guest, as I stated, Nicole Grant, coming on, hopefully to lift the spirits a bit, but we cannot forget that we have some serious issues in our community. Stick with us. If you've appreciated the discussion so far, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like, and just show a heart in the comments to let me know that you understand and you feel that our community is reeling.
In over 30 years, Mailboxes has brought in millions of packages. That's a lot of packages. We started way back in 1990.
Ship a boombox. Well, okay, sure, we can do that. Check you later.
And ever since,
Alrighty, welcome back. Thanks again to the BAC Group of Companies, Medicals, Lenders, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can do this for you on a daily basis. We're going to bring Maya Palacio in for the Daily Hour News Break. Do not go anywhere. We have Nicole Grant from Styling Grant coming up. Another positive, inspirational conversation with a fellow Bermudian doing some things in our community to help people. All right, Maya, let's get it going.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, Madame. How are you?
You know, it's never a good day after news like this. So
Indeed. Yeah, I think we just need some solutions. We need to put our heads together. You know, as I said, that wasn't the planned conversation. I watched Trevor Lindsay before he went live with that. He had the vacation rentals town hall he was at. We had the CARICOM issue, Sir John's press conference, and then a response from Walter Urban. You know, there's always going to be problems in a community. We're not speaking about a perfect community, but murder does not have to be one of them. It doesn't have to be one of them. I will never buy into the idea that taking someone's life is the answer to anything. Or, you know, now let me be clear. As a person who has never been a proponent of the death penalty, and this is me being very clear and transparent, after reading Mr. Munners' letter yesterday about his daughter's murderer, I had some things going in once inside my head. I'll leave it at that.
yes, indeed. And I hope that people, if they haven't taken the time to actually watch the Murder in Paradise lectures that were at the Bermuda College, because being able to speak to those men who are currently incarcerated and like hear from them, that was something that it still sticks with me to this day. I still think about that.
Yeah.
So if you ever have the chance to watch it, please watch it. All right, so we're gonna go into the news this morning. So good morning, everyone. This is Daily Hour Newsbreak brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Starting out with the tragic news that we were talking about earlier this morning, that around 8:50 p.m. on Tuesday, November 21st, just last night, police received reports of several gunshots heard in the area of Cobbs Hill and the Railway Trail in Warwick. Upon the police arrival at the scene, it was confirmed that a male had been shot. He was transported to the hospital for treatment for his injuries, which were considered very life-threatening. And later on in that same night, last night, it was confirmed that the male had sadly succumbed to his injuries and he died. An investigation into the incident has begun, and anyone with information is asked to call the main police number 295-0011. Again, police always say you can also speak to an officer whom you trust or call 211 as well.
Yeah, I learned when I was very young, growing up around police officers, that someone always knows something.
Mhm.
I don't know how to make a plea to someone, but the only thing I can continuously say, do not wait till you need someone to do for you what they need you to do for them.
Agreed. I'm gonna say this one more time. Well, I'm gonna say it every day until he is found. Excuse this because it is now 12 days. It's actually 12 days since Ajani Lima Bascom has not been seen. Anyone, please look out for this face. Look out for the name. If you hear anything, call the police 295-0011. Again, Ajani Lima Bascom, he's 16 years old. Remember, harboring a fugitive is against the law, and there will be consequences for it. Sorry, harboring a juvenile, I apologize. Harboring a juvenile is against the law. And so please, if anyone has seen Ajani Lima Bascom, contact the police, talk to an officer you trust. He's 16 years old. He's been missing for now 12 days, and he was last seen in the St. George's Slippery Hill area on November 9th.
Mhm. I want to say this because there's been some debate in public forums about what seems like a lack of interest. Let me tell you, there's no lack of interest from Maya or anyone on this show when it comes to finding that young man. It's the same interest as if it was anyone. We as a community, I've been speaking about Black males all morning, need to show where's the search groups? Where are the search groups? What are we doing? You feel me? Again, I know we're busy. I know we have a lot going on. I know the economy is tough. But folks, I repeat, don't wait till you need people. Don't. We've got to get off our asses and do something about the issues impacting our community.
I agree, and it's very disheartening. I can hope that me not just being continuous, just it's me being continuous because 12 days is an extremely long time,
Correct.
and we are leading into territory where this is dangerous, and everyone on the island should be very much concerned. So please, 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 if you have seen him, heard anything, heard his name, are suspicious, just say something, call the police, anything, even if you think it's the slightest amount, even if you think maybe was that him a glimpse, call.
Thank you.
In other news, so the St. David's community is fighting to save their primary school. There was an online and paper petition to keep the school open, and it hit 500 signature marks. While in a press statement that they put out, they mentioned how the school has been operated continuously for like 130 years, which was the first integrated school in Bermuda and is central to the St. David's community, producing many types of, people like doctors, scientists, teachers, athletes, members of parliament, etc. Or in an effort to save the school from closures, members of the protest called Keep Our School Open, which consists of members of the community and alumni, spoke about the school's unique history and heritage to parents and teachers at a PTA meeting on November 20th. They will also be appealing to the Minister of Education to make the case for the school to remain open. One of the spokespersons from Keep Our School Open and school alumni spoke about how for us, it's more than just a school. It was central to our community where parents, teachers, and neighbors came together to ensure that children were safe and cared for. So they are, appealing for this school to be, kept open, and they say anyone who wishes to support can also visit them on their Facebook page at St. David's School PTA as well. Now, in response to that, actually, the minister did come up with a response because he also mentioned, and I mentioned here on the news about how they will be doing a new evaluation about history and heritage of schools to see whether or not a school will be closed down in their, journey to transforming our schools. Well, he said, quote, "We recognize the deep concern and emotional investment of the St. David's primary school community in the future of their school. The decision to consider the closure of any school is profoundly challenging and is not approached lightly. Our commitment is to ensure all students have access to the best possible educational environment. As previously announced in July, a rescoring process was initial for parishes with multiple primary school sites. This process uniquely includes a, quote, history and legacy component, reflecting our dedication to respecting and understanding the rich histories of our schools. Each school, including St. David's Primary, was invited to contribute to this process by nominating 3 representatives for discussion with the History and Legacy Working Group. Any submissions and documentations from St. David's or any other school has forwarded to the working group, and we will meet them soon. It's important to underscore that the potential closure of schools is part of a broader strategy to high-rise our education system, ensure that we can allocate resources more effectively for the holistic development of our students in a reformed educational landscape. And he closes by saying, upon receipt and through analysis of the history and legacy reports, alongside ongoing stakeholder consultations, we will be in a position to provide more detailed public update.
All right. Nothing to say on it.
All right. Well, in other news, 18-year-old Zavia Dowling is on a mission to pay for her dentistry schooling through playing the violin and to assist children, which she says in Ecuador, with their health care and efforts to make that happen. So I had a conversation with her, and here's a quick glimpse of what she spoke about and what she saw at Ecuador that kind of pushed her dream into wanting to go into dentistry. So let's hear from her.
It honestly, again, it stems from that one trip in Ecuador, just seeing the children, because we were building. I remember this one time we were building on the site, starting the foundation of this school, and me and my friends just building whatever, and then these little kids just trickle into the building site, and we're like, oh, like so cute, like all little kids, but then you kind of just get a closer look at them, and they've just got like gashes in their skin and like just brown teeth from like poor hygiene, which obviously isn't their fault. And I think just seeing that really just like touched me. And it's just like, why should these people have to suffer because they can't afford it? Like, where are the people like us? Why aren't we going out? Like, and obviously we can't help every single child, but we can do better than just building school, because healthcare is obviously a lot more important than, I don't know. To me, healthcare is very important, and I feel like it should be one of our primary focuses. And if I can make a difference in that, then I'd love to. And that's my goal, really.
So tell me where people can help you on this journey to like making that dream come true for you to help other people.
Okay, so if anybody wants to get in touch with me or donate or even just hear a little bit more about what I'm doing, you can hit me up on Instagram. So my Instagram is Zavia Plays. So it's my first name, Zavia Plays, and that's on Instagram. Or you can find me on Facebook as well under Zavia Doiling. And we can have a chat if you like, or if you want to know anything about what I'm doing, yeah, I'm free to chat.
Awesome.
Love it. Good stuff. Congrats. And folks, help her out.
Yeah, she's been playing the violin since she was 3 years old. So you may have seen her sometimes. She'll be around at different events in Bermuda, just trying to raise money and save so she can become a dentist. Yeah, to follow her dream and help children in Ecuador.
Nice.
Yeah. In our sports-related news, you may have heard this, but unfortunately, our men's team did not win their game yesterday, and there was a release that was put out by the BFA that says, quote, "The journey for our Gombe Warriors has come to an end. While this wasn't the result we wanted to achieve, our senior men's national team represented their country well. We have lessons to learn and look forward to coming back better than before."
Yeah, we got to keep pushing.
Yeah. And I also saw, I believe it was Reginald that got 50 caps, which is pretty amazing and astounding achievement for the Bermuda footballer. So congratulations to him, and thank you for all the service and games that he's played for Bermuda.
Indeed. First one to 50.
Yeah, that's amazing. Huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
Well, in our weather today is looking like sunny periods with possible early showers or two, and we got a high of 70 degrees today. There's also a small craft warning for later this evening, so just look out for the high gusts of winds.
All righty. Thank you for that, Maya. Today, days of the year, it's Go for a Ride Day. So how do you celebrate Go for a Ride? The greatest thing you can do is go for a ride. You have what they call a pedal cycle, push bike, we called it in Bermuda. Well, just get moving, get on a bike. And if you don't have one, ask someone you may know if you can borrow theirs, but just get moving. Let your body do some work. I want to say once again, folks, if you haven't already, just shared the link. Please fill out the survey. We have this annual survey. There will be a grand prize. You don't have to put your email address, but if you do, you'll have a chance to win the grand prize being given away in the first week of December. So we encourage you to fill out that survey. It'll take about 5 minutes of your time, a few questions, very easy. Please, 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 the information you give us helps us make decisions for this show. Also, one last thing before we head out for the commercial break. please, please, please do not miss the BAC's Black Friday extravaganza. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, they have drastically slashed their prices on carrier units, for AC units, that is, from 9, 12, 18, and 24,000 BTUs, Kohler faucets, vanities, grab bars, LED light bulbs, and more. Jaw-dropping prices, folks. Take advantage. You may be saying, oh, well, it's wintertime. Be like me. Shop for stuff now so next year you have it, right? This is your chance. Transform your home without breaking the bank. Take advantage of these opportunities at the BAC. This is going to be happening on Friday, all right? Friday, and supplies are only available while they last. So check them out, BAC Group of Companies, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Friday. Maya, thank you so much. We will see you. Well, folks, there's no show tomorrow. There's no show Friday. So we'll see Maya again on Monday.
Yes, you will.
Have a wonderful weekend, Maya.
You too, Jamal.
All righty. Maya Palacio, folks, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with Nicole Grant, Style Granted. Do not go anywhere. We can inspire, we can motivate, and we can help people in so many ways. And this, to me, is a very exciting one. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
When it comes to footwear, we carry functional, comfortable, orthopedic and waterproof shoes. We have construction shoes, golf shoes, shoes for walking, shoes for boating. We even have shoes for pickleball. We have shoes for everyone. With brands by Skechers, Atrax, Propay, Easy Street, Nursemates, Clogs, Avenger, Cherokee, Cat, Frog Talk and DeWalt. The list goes on.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's.
All righty, welcome back to the big show, folks. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Again, fill out the survey if you have not done so already. Do not forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Without further ado, we've got a very special guest today. Nicole Grant, Style Granted. And folks, get your questions and comments ready because this is going to be a good one. Please give her a warm TDH welcome. I believe this is her first time. Good morning. Greetings. How are you?
Good morning, Jamal, and good morning, your viewers. I'm doing great this morning. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm okay. I think you can bring my energy up with the excitement that you have for what you do. How's that?
That's the plan. But before we do bring up your energy, just want to tag onto what you mentioned earlier as far as what can we do. Therapy is one aspect of us healing as a country, as well as us getting together in different groups to really come up with what we can do to ensure that, we are healing as a country. So from that, we can proceed with an upbeat ongoing show.
You know what I absolutely love? I love when guests come in and the first thing they do is contribute to the conversation before, because it tells me you have embraced what we're doing, not just your appearance here, but just everything we do as part of community. So thank you really for that. I appreciate it. Trust me. But yes, thank you for coming once again. And let's just begin before we get into the conversation. Tell people a bit about your background. Many people in the community may know you as an educator, but just tell them a bit about your background and how you got to where you are.
Sure. So, yes, former educator of 25 years in the public education system. And during that time, I had many family and friends that will call me and say, you know what, I want you to actually dress me for a particular event. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Let's go for it. And so over the years, I realized that, you know what, this is my passion. This is something that I'm very good at. And why not go into business to do it? And so after the 25 years, I decided, you know what? Let me go ahead and fulfill this passion that I have for styling people, to uplift their spirits, to build their confidence. And here I am.
You know what? I'm serious when I say this. Whenever I hear someone say, oh, I've done this for 25, 30 years, I'm like, I look at them and they look like 25. I'm just, how was it possible? But no, interesting transition. And folks, just to let you know, we will be doing a nice giveaway at the end. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay tuned. She has something very special coming up for you. So just explain what exactly you do as it relates to styling.
First and foremost, the goal is to inspire women to build their confidence, to set them on a path that they have never been on before. And how we do that is through styling them. So I get to know the individual. They take a 15-minute free consultation with me. And during that 15-minute free consultation, I get to see what is it that they want coming out of the actual services that are being offered to them. Once we figure that out, it allows me to see what our next steps are. So it's more than just styling the individual, it's actually empowering them, elevating them to their next levels.
Interesting. And reading your website, that word stood out, empowering them. But
Mhm.
now I guess, like many others, where did the inspiration behind Styling Grant come from?
Oh my goodness. The inspiration came from me having conversations with other people around, what is it that really speaks to me? Because sometimes, we get to go to our village to determine what our next steps are. And so I looked at my village, my family, and my friends, and I asked questions. And from those answers, I said, this is the place and space that I get to show up with my expertise.
Interesting. So, folks, I'm enjoying this. Because I've been told I don't have much style, right? So, I'm not going to call any names who's been telling me that. But okay, so how do you approach? Let's say, I'm going to use Sherry. I'm going to pick on Sherry, right? Sherry, Maya, either one. But how do you inspire, like approach understanding each person, like their style preference? Because style is so diverse, right? How would you go about styling a woman like Maya to a more mature woman like Sherry?
So first and foremost, we look at their body shape. And I think that it's key. Each of us will look on a website and we'll say, oh, that looks great. However, we have to determine what your body shape is. So looking at Maya and Sherry, I would determine what their body shapes are first and foremost. Once we determine what their body shape is, I will also have them to do some sort of assessment, which will allow me to see what their styles are. Maya is totally different than Sherry based on body shape as well as her style. And so based on what comes out of that assessment that I built with them and more conversations that I'm having with them will determine what lifts their style.
I like it. We need a men's version, folks. I want to hear some success stories. Who are some success stories where you've helped style some people?
So before I got into this business, I had a few friends, as I mentioned, that asked to style them. One in particular was for a birthday party. And I was walking through town and it was the day before and we still hadn't found anything. And I went into a store. I tried it on because her shape is similar to mine. And I said, bam, this is the outfit for her. We bought it. When the night came, she put it on and she extended to me that she felt fabulous, that she has never experienced that type of confidence before based on what she had put on. So from that, she walked into the party feeling exclusively and uniquely in her own space as who she is on that birthday. Another one is a recent one. I dressed a friend for a live panel show overseas. And again, she showed up on the panel feeling great about herself, feeling empowered, and knowing that when she actually spoke, she spoke with eloquence, and knowing that not only did she look good, but again, her presentation also spoke for how she looked.
I'm going to speak from a man. I mean, I remember, and when were in business school, some schools required you to wear like suits to prepare you for the workplace. And I remember they actually brought someone in from Macy's department store to get us to understand, how to purchase a suit, right sizing, make sure whenever you get it washed, it goes to the cleaners, both pieces going together, and so on. I was one who I loved wearing suit and ties at the time, and so I would always do that. And other guys, man, how could you wear a suit all the time? And I was just like, I'm comfortable. How could you be comfortable in that? And it helped me understand different preferences for people at the time, because I thought everyone would like feeling like this. But what does it, do for women, you think, when you take them and transform them? And do you have those responses? And I'm thinking talk show, like Maury Povich back in the day would bring people in for makeovers and so on. Do you get some emotional spaces where people just didn't know how it would make them feel? And I'm tying this into Jody Virgil, who has a question: how does styling and feeling good on the outside translate to increased healthy feelings on the inside? Like, do you get that people feel a sense of relief and when they are styled and feeling empowered?
Most definitely. First and foremost, we start during the free consultation. We start to talk about how are they feeling at that particular juncture. There was a situation where once I started having those questions to the individual, she actually started to cry because she felt that during this process, it would allow her to not only release, but also be vibrant in her space when she actually leaves her home. And so we look at what is actually happening inside of the individual. How do we get to the crux of that to truly help them to show up for who they are and what they get to be in their outfits?
Okay, let's go to the audience. We've got Traveling Trotty. She's asking, what advice do you have for someone looking to refresh their wardrobe on a budget?
With regards to a wardrobe, first and foremost, we are looking at the wardrobe to determine what are some pieces, classic pieces that they get to keep. Once we figure that out, we then determine what is it that we get to purchase. And we also look at a budget. So we obviously have individuals that have small versus large budgets. And so with that, we get to determine what sort of retail stores that we would actually look at to purchase these items. And so once we determine that, we are on our way to transformation.
Interesting. We got another one. Karen Simmons, do you style both men and women?
With regards to women, that is definitely expertise. Coming into the new year, I'll be getting into men as well.
We appreciate you. We appreciate.
And you be the first one, Jamal. You be the first one.
I can't have Sherry. Yeah, I called her name. You can't have Sherry talking about the way I, look. But we will get to that. Ebony Souza, she says, while styling, is it standard to consider longevity of a wardrobe to help combat issues of fashion waste, fast or otherwise?
So with regards to styling, we look at consignment stores, ranging up to the luxury stores. And again, I would encourage individuals to keep specific pieces in their closet, what we call classic pieces. So the natural colors or the neutral colors you'll keep in your closet. And from there, we'll work around that. So sustainability, yes, is key. Consignment stores, yes, it's also an opportunity for you to actually look to determine if there are some pieces in there. Or even borrowing from friends and families are also another way to sustain our world, and our earth.
All righty. We've got Michelle White saying, Jody took my question, but to extend the question, how do you deal with what we consider our flaws, whether shape or body parts?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. The focus is on what is it that you love about your body. Right? So I think for women, we tend to go to what is it that we dislike. The focus is what do you love, and let's enhance that. And by enhancing that, we get to actually no longer even think of our flaws. So that is a way that I go ahead and approach any woman that comes to me with regards to how to uplift them.
Alrighty. Traveling Trotty asking, when purchasing items, do you use local or overseas stores?
First and foremost, buy Bermuda. We look at some of the retail stores on island, and from there we get to purchase. And I say we, meaning I don't get. I don't get to purchase. They do, but ultimately, the client gets to purchase on island. If we determine that some of the items that speak to their body shape is not here, that's when we go overseas through websites we order online.
Alrighty. And let's speak about some tips and advice. Like, what are some tips? We've got the holidays coming up. You've got a lot of women going to holiday parties. What advice and tips would you give some of the women as they prepare for the, I guess, cooler months when it comes to styling and for their body shape and for their confidence?
With regards to the upcoming festive season, ladies, so metallics and sparkles are the trend for this festive season. You can wear kitten heels as well, or you can wear the thigh-high boots or the knee-high boots. All of that is part of the trends for the festive season, along with the oversized scarves, especially when you're going out at night, before you actually get into the facility. You can actually have on that scarf as a trend as well to keep you warm. And so that is some of the trends for the festive season. As far as casual wear is concerned, more of the jeans. And I know many of you, we've loved the skinny jeans. We're moving away from that to more of the flared jeans, which gives us flared baggy jean look, which gives us a bit more flow in our walk.
Nice. Hey, ladies, you just got some free advice. You ain't taking no consulting or nothing. You got it. So let's speak about we're gonna give something away, right?
Most definitely.
But before we do that, I know there are a lot of people who are in the comments and really appreciate what you've had to share today. Kathy Rogers saying Nicole's awesome stylist. Her gift, her comment, and attention to detail speaks volume. Wishing you continued success. And I appreciate the responses you've given. But how can people, someone who may not know you, first time hearing, how can they get in touch with you, make an appointment with you, and improve their style?
I just want women to be and feel their best. And one of the ways of doing that is through uplifting how they look through style. And so using my service at Styling Granted or stylinggranted.com to find out more information, you can do just that. So the giveaway for today is, first and foremost, you can go to my website, and where it says the 15 free consultation, you will input your information and you have 24 hours to sign up. From that, you determine a service and you get 30% off that service. We know it is Thanksgiving coming up, Friendsgiving, and so that is my way of showing my viewers, as well as your viewers on the Daily Hour, how much I appreciate them.
Folks, you got 24 hours. The clock starts now. Let's do it. You don't even have to wait to Black Friday.
There you go.
Let's do it. Before you head out, just what would you say to someone who legit, and I'm not talking about me, has absolutely no concept of style, but wants to change it? They want to, I'm going to go back to me wearing a suit. Back then, I wore a suit. I felt like a suit gave me the confidence to walk into any room and get a contract signed as a salesperson. That's the confidence it gave me. Now, I understand that there's many ways to dress with confidence without having necessarily a suit and tie on. But what would you say to someone who's just in that space where they're so much of a non-believer in it?
I would say to that person, it is time for you to step into your true self. Show up, contact me, let's have a conversation, and you will see that after we're done, you will feel bold, confident, and ready for the world.
All righty. Just remind people once again of the giveaway.
The giveaway is a 30% off of the actual service. And how do you actually get to have the 30% off? You go onto my website, look for it where it says complimentary 15-minute consultation. You write in your contact information. I will then respond to you and you tell me what service you would like. And you have 24 hours.
All righty, folks. You heard it. Nicole, thank you so much for the conversation this morning. I think you did lift the spirits. People seem to be very encouraged in the comments. Please don't be a stranger and let us know all that you have going on, because seasons change and so do styles, right?
For sure. Most definitely.
All
as
right.
well as trends.
And trends. There you go. Thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful day and holidays as well.
Thank you for having me. And thank you, viewers, for listening. Have a great day and festive season.
You too. Talk soon. Nicole Grant, folks, if you appreciated the conversation this morning, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share this conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Yeah, I have confidence after chatting with Ms. Grant just now. Yeah, I'm gonna change my shirt now. Yeah, trust me. I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture. I will send you a picture. But no, that was absolutely awesome. I think we look at styling and fashion as materialism. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not. Style defines who we are in so many ways. And it can really be the difference between you getting a job or a contract and not getting that job or a contract. It can be the difference in you being with the person you really want to be with and not being with the person you want to be with. It can be the difference between making a living and struggling to make a living. I don't want people walking away thinking that this was just some materialistic conversation. It's not. It makes a difference. We're going to take a final break. Be back after this. And when we come back, I'm going to wrap it up, but daily play. And I'm going to give you a little something away. Rise Tribe Bermuda, you didn't email us yesterday, but someone's going to get a chance to win if they get this answer correctly for today's daily play. Stick with us.
Hi, welcome to ER Fisheries. I'm Jalen Steed, store manager and trained chef, and I'm here to help you with all of your food needs. Let's talk about why you should come and check out ER Fisheries. We offer the widest range of specialty meats and seafood items at a price point that will absolutely fit your budget. As a chef, I'm able to answer all of your food questions, help you come up with meal ideas, and generally guide you in the right direction. You'll get a custom shopping experience unlike any other food store in Bermuda, where we'll cater to your needs and provide you with excellent customer service. Where else can you get quality cooking advice and quality products? I look forward to helping you with all your meal ideas.
All righty. Thanks again to Nicole Grant from Style and Granted. Folks, check her out. If you appreciated today's conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Again, if you haven't, please, if you haven't already, please fill out our daily hour survey. It is, I'll put it in the link now in the comments. Please fill this out. It really helps us with information. We have had a tremendous amount of response. This information really helps us make decisions that are in the best interest of you, the audience. And 5 minutes, it'll take you 5 minutes. Just fill out that survey for us. And again, people in the comments showing Nicole love. Latoya D. Bean showing Nicole Grant some love. And we've got Karen Simmons, love the conversation, Nicole. And Neville Grant says, great energy, great concept, great job, styling, granted. Something tells me they know one another. But folks, it was a great conversation. And again, please fill out the daily hour survey. We're going to do a big giveaway next month. You don't have to put your email address, but it is thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medicals, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have these conversations on a daily basis. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, audience, here we go. Here's the question of the morning. First person to get it correct. Thank you, Michelle White. Make your appointment. This is why we do this show. Make your appointment with Nicole right now. Our audience knows what's up. This is the love that this is why we do it. All right. Here's the question for the day, folks. It's holiday trivia. First person to get it right, we will be giving you a $25 voucher to one of our sponsors of your choice. Question: what black rock and roll star born Rich Penniman was born on Christmas Day in 1935? Audience, it is Little Richard, but Michelle White said Little Richie first. Okay, audience, yes or no? Michelle White said Little Richie. Denise Hollis said Little Richard, which came up second. And then Sheikah Reyna said Little Richard with a question mark. It is Little Richard. But should we give Michelle White the prize? You know, this is a democracy in here. Should we give Michelle White the prize for saying Little Richie? Yes or no? This is on you, audience. Remember, we like Michelle. She's good people. This is on you, audience. Yes or no? Should we give it to Michelle? Okay, Traveling Trotty says yes. Suzanne Ingham says yes. All right. Well, looks like Michelle's going to get the prize. Michelle. Oh, wow. We got a no. Paulie Rich says no. Karen Simmons says yes. Most people say yes. Okay, Denise. There we go. Denise Hollis says sure because she actually said the real name first. So Michelle White, you see what I did there? I took it out of my hands. They can't be mad at me. Michelle White, we're going to give it to you. So please send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com, a $25 gift voucher to a sponsor of your choice. Folks, again, please, if you haven't filled out the Daily Hour survey, please do us a favor. Take 5 minutes out of your time. Fill out our survey for us today. I have to give you some daily inspiration, don't I? I'm just going to give you something original after I wrap it up. But I want to say this about today's show. Doing this show is tough, man. It's really tough. You know, my mother picked me up from the airport when I returned to Bermuda many years ago after I had left Bermuda. And she asked me as we were going over the causeway, do I miss doing my radio talk show? And I said to my mom at the time, I said, no. She said, why? And I said, because of everything that comes with it, you know, the emotional part of it, the having to, discuss things that are just so draining, right? Anyway, years later, we do this show on a daily basis. And it is mentally and emotionally draining. But I wouldn't change it for the world. Because the purpose of the conversations that we have are to find solutions in our community for our community. I don't ever, a change in turning point in this show was when the pandemic, we were in the lockdown phase and the Premier of Bermuda, David Burt, was having a lot of press conferences. And I had said, I'm not interested. I don't want to listen to them or watch. And Dr. Smith, the editor of the RG, said, but you have to, especially if you're going to be talking about things. And I responded in disgust to Mr. Smith, but he was right. As much as I want to avoid, or we want to avoid reality, we just can't escape it. And I take the responsibility, we take the responsibility to have these discussions with a goal in mind. And that goal is to solve the problems that we are facing in our community. As far as Nicole Grant goes, I think we need more like her. Empowerment looks different. It's not one look, right? I continuously say, I don't like the idea of charity, and I prefer empowerment. What she's doing is empowering people. And through this, people's lives can literally be transformed. I tell you no lie. When I walked in certain rooms with a suit on, I felt like I was Barack Obama shaking hands, and people I felt took me a bit more seriously. Now that I've been doing things a bit longer, I don't necessarily feel I need a suit. But let me tell you something. When I go to events here in Palm Beach, Florida, I'm always the brightest in the room with a pink or peach or bright royal blue blazer on. And people always come to me about what I have on. My boss smiles and loves it. But I said there's different ways to capture people's attention. I'm in sales. And if what I'm wearing gets the conversation going, then so be it. There's lessons in this. As far as the daily inspiration brought to you by ER Fisheries and Foods, I'll say this. We have to want to help ourselves as much as we want others to do for us. We have to want to help ourselves as much as we want others to do for us. No one is coming to save us, but we can save us. We will not be on air live on a Thursday. We will not be on air live on Friday. I will miss you, but we are taking a well-deserved break. And our hope is when we come back on Monday, that we will be speaking joy and love into one another even more as we head into the festive period. On that note, please don't forget to fill out the survey, subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Monday. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great long weekend away from us. I am is out. Peace.